She is.
I'm a serious actor, no? I'm going on the side with him. So you're amused, I think. Now you come to Bengali film with me. Huh? I won't rehearse with you, you know your Bengali lines.
So I think this is very exciting for us to see Manoj Bajpayee and Konkona Sen Sharma together for the first time, and that too in a very twisty, dark story.
Yeah.
What made you to gravitate towards this project when you were first approached?
Well, you know, gravitate towards this project as in there was no reason to not do this project, you know. Firstly, it's a great role. It's an opportunity to work with Abhishek Chaubey, to work with Manoj Bajpayee, and it's a crazy, amazing, fun story. I mean, I don't think anybody in their right mind would say no to Swati.
It's like Mrs. Iyer gone bad.
What a nice way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Mrs. Iyer gone bad. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, no need to be so good all the time. No?
Yeah.
Reminder to self.
If you can take us through the initial days of preparation for these roles, were you reading or bouncing off ideas? How was it?
The initial days when I originally got the script, I used to get the script on email, you know, in the sense that I would get episodes 1 and 2, then after some time 3 and 4, then maybe I'll get, you know, 5 ka revised draft, and I would read these episodes and I would just be like, my God, what is Abhishek thinking? Abhishek and his writers, fantastic young new writers, you know, really brilliant, and I would always be amazed that now what can possibly happen, because everything is already there. You know, sometimes it's bizarre, sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's thrilling, sometimes it's funny. So initial days, once we started prepping, when I spoke to Abhishek, he had said that we want to keep Swati's background a little vague, in the sense we don't want to pinpoint exactly here's where she grew up, this is exactly what happened, who her parents are. So what he had told me and what we discussed was that she's an orphan. She has worked as a nurse, which is where she met first Umesh,
right.
Manoj's character, one of Manoj's characters. And so we decided, and you know, I was also wondering whether we should do an accent for Swati, because you know, she's not exactly got the same accent as the other guys, but she's not supposed to be from there. So deliberately he wanted to keep that a little vague.
Right.
What about you?
No, but with the first one, they said, you know, you have to make him as uncouth as possible. Make him look dirty.
Prabhakar.
Prabhakar.
Yeah.
Make him look dirty. And also he gave, you know, he sent me the backstory of Prabhakar Shetty and Sayaji's, you know, both the brothers, and you know, how this guy always remained a loser, though he was very good in studies and everything, but he remained a loser. He's kind of, and then he became opportunist. He's a maha womanizer. He's somebody who is misogynist. I mean, any name you can think of in this world, any bad name for a man, he's everything.
I used to get into a bad mood when Manoj would come as Prabhakar on set. These very loud clothes, burping loudly, talking loudly, and I'd be like, oh, that Prabhakar has come.
And on top of that, he doesn't care anything about his son, the only son.
Yeah.
He's so bad with him.
Yeah. That's true. He takes him for granted.
He's taken for granted completely.
And something that happens mainly in theatre, that you are feeding off each other's energy, and as co-actors, how much that happen between you two?
Oh, it happens all the time. You know, when the two of us are doing a scene together, we are I personally heavily depending upon
Same.
You know, Coco's pitch, Coco's response or action, and that's the beauty of working with such a great actor, that you know that even if you are confused about your own response, you know that it will come out when she is going to give you that. So with a newcomer, as compared to all of this, with a newcomer, he or she may be very talented, but if they are nervous, and if their action or response is even little down, then you stop it. Then you again try to make an effort. You try to coax them, cajole them, take them into the corner, rehearse with them. So all of these things go. But with this kind of an experience, you are relying heavily upon Coco's reaction, what Coco is, how Coco is going to give you the pitch.
Oh no, so much responsibility. I
No,
didn't
I'm
know I
telling
had.
you. So it happens. It happens, but it happens subconsciously.
True. I agree. I also completely agree. And you know, I think Nasir has said that acting is reacting.
Reacting.
Also so much. I mean, one thing, of course, is the scene itself is guiding you. It's written so well. It's written in such detail. Sometimes, you know, for example, even when, say, Swati has a diabolical smile or something, that is also written. Pauses are written. I really love that. I found that very useful. And then I completely agree with what Manoj is saying, because you have to be in that moment, even if you're supposed to be very angry.
Right.
Suppose your co-actor is not being angry. Now, alone you can't be, na? I mean, or you can be, but only till a point. And then you're waiting कि director कुछ बोलेंगे या ऐसे ही करे.
On the sets, like the general perception is that you two are serious actors. So on the sets, is it all seriousness, or was there times?
She is.
I'm a serious actor, na?
She's a serious actor because and I completely give it to her. And this is what everyone should learn from her. No, I am very serious.
Teasing me is always teasing me. You know?
I'm teasing her off the camera. But what is so amazing that she goes on rehearsing till the lines are completely part of her system. And I get it, because you know Hindi is not her language. Hindi is not her first language. So that is something I learned a great deal. I know I keep laughing about it. Though I found it very hilarious that even when I was doing makeup
Next time I'm just going to rehearse quietly on my own, you know. And I've learned the lines. But it's just that the next day also, especially if the long lines or whatever, I like to keep saying it and keep doing it, you know.
But that's so good.
Manoj is talking to Abhishek, he's doing something else. I'm going on the side with him. So you're very amused, I think. And he doesn't, for him, I think it's much easier, na? Like you can read it and you know it.
Yes. I mean, it's far more easier than...
Lucky.
But when you do it, like, it's as...
Now you come to Bengali films. I won't rehearse with you, you know your Bengali lines.
A Bengali film directed by Konkona.
Yeah. I would love to work under, you know,
I would
direction.
love to direct you.
I mean, the Mirror and Death in the Ganj. Death in the Ganj, when I saw, I say, wow. I mean, the first shot itself, it doesn't, I still can't take it out from my mind. Yeah.
Thank you.
The car going, you know, so that vintage car is going, that shot I can't forget. So, you know, that's the beauty of a good film. Even The Mirror, the short film that she has directed, so well crafted. And she dismisses it by, you know, giving it to Bansal, the cinematographer.
Anand Bansal, wonderful. Now I'm going to give him long Bengali lines and take him in a movie just for that, for revenge.
You must.
Revenge.
But like, if you have to ask each other some questions, what would you want to know from Manoj about his work or his approach, and vice versa?
That's a huge responsibility.
But I would want to know, you know, I mean, for example, that do you have the same approach to every character? Do you take different approaches? What is the
only thing common is I go on reading the script. That is the only thing common. It's not that I'm memorizing anything. Sometimes I don't even know, take down the notes. But that's how I start.
But when you take when you're making notes, what kind of notes are you making?
I mean, just trying to, something I write down so that I'm reminded of it. When I'm doing the scene, I'm just reminded of it. You know, 2-3 things, which is very, very essential. I should not leave it out. That I just write it down. But rest of the methods, it just varies. You know, like the other day I was talking about Aligarh. So Aligarh, I thought of a new approach, not really getting into the character, but I thought that I'll take the help of the atmosphere of literature and let that atmosphere take me into the character. And it helped me so much. It just worked. It was easy, smooth, and that reflected in the performance. I mean, that helped me in the performance.
And that is not something you've usually done in your previous work?
Not really.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's why I say that I love the process much more than the real work. definitely not the consequence of it. But the process itself is far more creative because you're trying out various things where you don't have any other pressure. You don't have your director next to you. You are actually thinking, trying to find some new ways to approach the character. And I also feel that the actor's performance actually decided by the interpretation of the character. It's not the characterization eventually. It's what is the interpretation of the film or the character that you have, in this film. And this is where it is decided what kind of performance is going to be. So for me, like Bhosle or say Aligarh, that is where I felt just right. Like Aligarh, I sincerely felt that I'm not talking about homosexuality at all through my performance. So one has decided that I am not going to look at that. It may be a moral thing, but I decided that I'm not even going to play that. Because that was a very political or moral stand that I have taken as an actor. But it helped me with other things. The moment you enhance the other thing, the other things, they start, they just, you don't even care about it.
And you had said this very nicely in an earlier interview, similar thing where you had said that, that I had not looked at the sexuality because I didn't want to reduce it only to the sexuality of the person,
right.
The character.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is what happens, that we always say he's a gay professor. Yeah. I mean, why we need to say he's a gay professor? We don't need to say.
Right.
Sexuality cannot determine our conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lovely.
Now, Manoj, what you would like to know from Konkona about her art and craft?
The very simple thing. Many times I just, saw her on the set, we've been promoting. I always want to know, when is the time for you to switch from actor to writer-director, because you are working here and then you are writing also, you're next. Because I can't even read a book when I'm that immersed in that role. I find it very hard to get out from that world and get into this world. This is quite remarkable, because when she was doing Soup, she was also talking about the next that she was going to direct. When she's doing the promotion, she's already working on her series. Yeah. So this is a very simple thing, but yeah, this is also very difficult for me, and that is what I want to know.
I was, firstly, though, I like to read books also on set because I find that a great way to keep my mind neutral.
Okay.
I find it's very important for me as an actor to keep Konkona at bay, little piche. And one way to do that is not to invoke any emotion from Konkona. You know what I mean? Like Konkona shouldn't have to react to "Itni garmi kyun hai?" or you know what I mean? Or "Why are we running so? I am so hungry." Konkona's needs she just needs to be neutral on the side. So in that sense, I find it very nice to read a book so that you have fed the beast. You can just, leave the mind and inhabit something else. Similarly, and also when you're acting, so much of the day I find is, you are, it depends. If I have a very intense scene, if I have a long Hindi lines, then, I can't do something else.
Sure.
But there are many times when we're doing scenes which are, I've walked from this room to that room, or it's a montage, or it's something, that it's not really stressing me out, that doesn't require a lot of thought. It's something that I've already prepared for enough. And I just need to be, so then those days I can concentrate on reading a book. I can chat with my co-actors. I can, in the same way, I can also, maybe I'm discussing with my co-writer on the phone. I would have these long discussions with Pooja Tolani because we were writing mirror love stories too. So on those long drives to location, on the way back, then you can have these conversations. Then I am able to make those...
But how could you manage when you're doing 17th Park Avenue?
15 Park Avenue.
15 Park Avenue. That was I have never complimented you on that. That's one
No,
of
but you're always so complimentary and supportive.
But that was so amazing. That was really.
But that time I don't think I was writing a script, but I must have been reading a book. That I don't, it doesn't come in the way for me. Reading the book though I find is helpful. Just to, keep stable and settled.
Right.